Hey everybody, welcome back to Champ and Sons and our Madden 21 franchise as we are leading the Denver Broncos, trying to make sure we get a number one slot in the playoffs at this point, going from 5-11 last season to possibly the number one team in the AFC. It has been quite the turnaround this season. Now, it has been a while since we've been here with our Broncos. But we are back, and hopefully we should be able to kind of get this series kicked back off a little bit and underway some more. Now, where are we in the year? We do have one loss. Recruiting, or scouting, not recruiting. Jeez. For scouting, we've scouted pretty much every one of our, what I felt to be our big need positions. So y'all know kind of as we do if you watched us when we were with the Houston Texans, once we scout all of our needs through, now we just start taking a look at some of the projected top draft picks, right? Where they may go and still try to fill in some of those gaps, but primarily we start looking at possible depth. Maybe we can get a second rounder to fall to the third or even the fourth round. It has happened before. It'll definitely happen again. And so that's really what we kind of do, running down the line here, going round by round, starting from the first, second, third, so on. Trying to look at building possible depth in areas where we can use improvement. It's not something that's a big time need at this moment, but we could definitely use some form of improvement. Now, right there, Dante Page coming out of California, a speed rusher, starting out as a second round pick. But obviously first-round talent. And if you look at the way this current game is going, that's something we may definitely need, as we are getting destroyed by the Chargers at home by a score of 45-10. And when I mean destroyed is using that term lightly, I did take Drew Lock out. He threw 4 interceptions, which led to 4 touchdowns by not San Diego, but LA. And that's really what spawned this humongous deficit that we have. And that's really what caused it. Now, our backup that we put in, Turner, we haven't seen him hardly at all this season. Really, we've been in so many close games. We haven't blown people out. So he hasn't really gotten much of a chance. And I will say, he did spark some life for us in this game. As far as our offense goes, it wasn't anything like he completely turned this game around for us. But as you see on a deep pass like that, now that was kind of a Madden tip play that occurred right there. But, being able to get the ball down the field for that touchdown, that is a big type of thing that we need to see, especially from, a backup that potentially, if we don't find a quarterback in the draft, he could definitely be looking to battle with Drew Lock for a starting position. So, we have to keep that stuff in mind going forward. And as we see here on this one, Turner with the play action fires it deep again, not afraid to throw it into double coverage. And maybe we should be a little bit smarter about that, not just heaving it down. But when you're losing by 28 points, I mean, at this stage, what do you have to lose, right? We've already lost the game. There's only 3 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. And so I do want to get him some, confidence. He does have 141 yards on the day and the touchdown. Just Sutton in general does have 80 yards. Now look at this. This is a new little dynamic Turner has that we definitely do not have with Drew Lock. He got off on that play for a 25-yard rush. And that is something that, one, we use in Houston with Watson a lot. It's something we're pretty comfortable with a quarterback that's got a lot of movement. And so, going forward, he has some possibility. Now, our season is still, we're battling for the number one spot in the AFC. So, no, I'm not going to make this massive change at this point and pull him out, pull Drew Lock out as much as, in all reality, I don't have confidence in the man. But I'll say this, I do still think, in general, over the course of an entire game, he's going to be the better option over Turner. So, now, Turner's trying to at least keep us in it, and he's putting on some good throws. Him and our tight end connect for the second touchdown here in the fourth quarter. And those are some big-time throws. Now, some of the things you didn't see that were cut out is he had some pretty bad throws also. Okay, there were definitely some that were way off line, off target. Something that Bulldog does that too. Now, one thing I will give Turner, his movement and some of these big-time throws and touchdowns, those were prime time throws. So he may be ready to take the next step, but as far as this season goes, Drew Lock is going to be our man for the remainder of this season. Now, we took a massive butt whipping at home, as y'all saw, and it was kind of a surprise when I think back on it, though. The only other game that we have lost this season up until this point, I believe it was the Chiefs, and we lost to them at home as well. Maybe not in as much of a butt kicking, but still, we got to take it like a man, though. It is what it is at this point, and so we just have to move on. And look at 6 takeaways by the Chargers. That is absolutely despicable. 4 interceptions and a fumble by Drew Lock is what led to that. So, yeah, he can look back, shake his head all day long. It ain't going to change nothing. It is what it is at this stage. Now, because of that loss, we have dropped to the number 2 seed in the AFC. The Steelers took over number 1. So if things remain as they are right now, we will be forced to play in the wild card round. Looking like at this stage, we'll be facing off against the Bengals, which is not, it's not that great, but it obviously isn't the worst thing in the world for a team to face in the wild card round. Now, re-signings coming into this season, we're starting to get to the end, so more and more guys are opening up. And the downside is some of these dudes are not our bigger talent. And so it's trying to weigh age versus basically what their overall is. And things just aren't adding up to make any more signings. At this point, come to the end of right before the playoffs, I may sign 1 or 2 more. They may have a couple of great games and show they got some life left in them. And I noticed we're losing a linebacker. So, yeah, I looked at 1 more in the first round because we will have a couple picks in the first round. Looking, obviously, QB is who we're going to be eyeballing, but I think we're only the second. I think we may be the 3rd pick in the draft. So that's going to lead to some issues, possibly not getting a quarterback that we want. Now, defensive-wise, Herbert exposed us on the defense and our passing game. Granted, the interceptions put our defense on the field, and we just could not stop anybody. But we definitely need to start looking at defensive backs here in this one. Now, we are going to advance up to the next game where we will be playing against the Raiders here in their new Las Vegas stadium. And this one it's a tough division battle. The only 2 games we have lost have been within the division, and we need to avoid a basically 2-game losing streak. And so that first one will be a big-time stop for 4 yards. And in the second play, the 2nd and 6, Carr is going to be in the shotgun and try to hand that one off. But our defensive line held tough this play at least, and they will only allow 1 yard. So now the 3rd and 5, Derek Carr is going to be in the shotgun once again. 3 receivers to his left side, his running back offset to his right, and they run the screen. But we're going to break through and make that stop behind the line. Taki with a big hit and brings the man down for a 4-yard loss. That was some speed on defense and being where he needed to. That was something that did not happen much in the last game. Now we're going to move on up to the second quarter. As you can see, we are actually trailing 10-0. Our offense has been fairly ineffective the whole first quarter, which provided Las Vegas with their 10 points at this stage. Now we are on a drive, so we do have the ball at the 31-yard line. Drew Lock is going to be in the shotgun with 3 wide receivers, as we do have Gordon in the backfield offset to our left side. Now Lock will hang in there tough, but look at that. I get he's under pressure. And that pass was just completely inaccurate and, dangerous throw, too. That one almost ended up in the defensive hands. So now in the 3rd and 6, Lock in the shotgun once again from the 31. He gets a snap. He's going to scan the field, fires it over, and we're actually going to make the catch. KJ Hamler will go down to get that one, pick it up just before it hits the turf, and that will move us down to the 22-yard line and give us a brand new set of downs. As we are still continuing this drive, but some of those throws, those riskier throws like that, that's been, thankfully we've had Hamler, we have Sutton, we have Judy, because those guys have really been coming through for us all season and making some great catches. Now after a run by Gordon up the middle, Las Vegas is going to bring the blitz on a 2nd and 6, but we're going to find Cortland Sutton in the end zone. Oh my goodness, on that post route, Sutton got his space, and Locke did deliver that one on point for the touchdown. And now we would allow a field goal by Las Vegas, but that will leave us time on the clock here to try and make something happen as we catch up with us at the 2-minute warning. As we are driving once again. We are at the Las Vegas 27-yard line now with a 2nd and 10 after that incomplete pass. As Drew Lock will be in the shotgun with 3 wide, tied into his right and Gordon's offset to his left side in the backfield with him. As we send Hamler in motion, Locke's going to float to the right side. Find Hamler. He's going to get past that first defender, but will finally be brought down very shortly after that. Now that'll bring up a 3rd and 4. Locke in the shotgun once again, trying to hurry it up. As he fires it over, Sutton's got the pass. He's going down at the 5-yard line. What a play by Sutton on that slant pattern. He found the space, and he got in there and got the extra yards we need. Now on a 1st and goal, trying to slow things down just a little bit. We hand it off to Melvin Gordon up the middle. That's going to be no gain on that play. And that will bring up 2nd and goal, less than 1 minute to go here in the 2nd quarter. Drew Lock in the shotgun, 3 wide once again, kind of our favorite setup. He's going to roll out to his right side. He has some space. He's running it into the end zone. Drew Lock for the touchdown, as we will now take the lead in this ball game. Drew Lock found his space. He saw what Turner did last week and said, I can do that stuff too, as he takes that one into the end zone, and we will now have this lead 14-13 in this ball game. So we're going to move on to the 3rd quarter here. Our first drive of the 3rd quarter, as we will find ourselves with the 1st and 10 at the 42. Throwing the screen pass to Gordon, who's going to bounce off a man but finally be pushed out of bounds at about the 30. And on that 1st and 10, gained about just 10 to 11 yards, picking up another 1st down. So here we go, 1st and 10. Drew Lock under center this time with 2 tight ends and Xavier Cohn in the backfield. Lock's going to roll out to his right side on the pass. He finds a lane, but he drops back and throws it to Sutton, who's actually going to make the catch unbelievably. Drew Lock, I thought he was going to take off with it, but instead he dropped back, stayed behind the line of scrimmage, and threw it, and Sutton actually did not come down with that. That brings up 2nd and 10. So on 2nd and 10, we will hand it off to Melvin Gordon up the middle, who's going to pick up only a gain of about a few yards, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 7. Now Lock from the shotgun, 3 wide, 1 tight end, and Gordon offset to his right side once again. He gets the snap. He's rolling out to his right. He's going to fire it over to our tight end, and he's going to catch it at the 22-yard line, and we would kick a field goal at that point, kind of extend our lead now 17-13. So here come the Raiders back on their next drive. David Carr in the shotgun, holding it because we had great coverage, and he's going to be brought down for the sack. Wallace gets in there and gets his first sack of the night, bringing down Derek Carr. That was great coverage. That is the perfect example of a coverage sack. Not one man was wide open, and we were able to get in there and put Carr to the turf. Now on a 2nd and 17, Carr is going to be in the shotgun once again. He gets the snap, scans over the field, fires it to the left side, finds his man, but his running back is going to be brought down immediately on that one, as he won't pick anything else up after the catch, and that will bring a 3rd and 12 for the Raiders here on this drive, trying to keep pace with us in this ballgame. So Carr in the shotgun once again gets the snap, and he's scanning over the field. There's not really anybody totally available. We're finally going to bring him down. The pressure gets to Carr. Wallace once again takes advantage of the coverage and will get the sack. Now that would lead us to kick a field goal. So we do still have a 1-touchdown lead. But Las Vegas is trying to drive again on us here as we are now in the 4th quarter. And it looks like, Devontae Holt is hurt, so we're going to bring in a backup for him. And that's a pretty big loss. Holt has played pretty dang well for us all season. So now with the 3rd and 4, Carr, he lofts it up to the right side, and he's going to be out of bounds. But look there's a flag. You're going to call pass interference. You've got to be kidding me, although I'm not going to lie, it did kind of look like we hacked him a little bit. And it's things like that is why I need a top-tier defensive back. Just throwing that out there, for some of y'all who may have had questions why I was looking at him before. So now with the 1st and 10 after that pass interference, Carr's going to drop it off to his man down the left side, and he's going to take it all the way down to the 7-yard line as they got the space they needed, and, man, they opened it up. So now 1st and goal from the 7. Carr is going to be under the center. Tight end is to the left side now. Carrs get the snap, scans the field. We bring the pressure, and we get him down. Oh, my goodness. Alshon Robinson breaks through his man, pushes him around like a little child, and brings Carr to the turf, as that will be a big-time sack on that play. So that brings up 2nd and goal from the 10. Carr going under center once again on this one. They bring a man in motion, but it's not going to amount to anything as they try to hand it off, and our guys blast through. Wallace and Strand came through together to bring him down behind the line for a loss of 1. So the Raiders will find themselves with a 3rd and goal from the 11-yard line here, trailing by 7 points. Scores 20-13 Denver. Carr is going to be in the shotgun now. As he gets the snap, he's going to scan over the field. We bring the pressure. Carr just throws that one away. Our defensive line had great pressure on that one, and we will force a field goal. So now after that field goal, the score is 20-16, and we find ourselves on the drive once again here in the 4th quarter, as Locke will drop that one off to, that looked like Judy on that reception, but only pick up about 3 yards there, as we have a 4-point lead, trying to extend it and see if we can't put this game away on this drive. Now Locke from the shotgun once again, receivers offset to the left side. He's going to fire it over the middle. He finds Hamler, who's going to make a man miss and get down to the 22-yard line. K.J. Hamler with a big-time reception over the middle, coming out of that slot position, just like he's done all season for us. That was a thing of beauty right there. So now 1st and 10 from the 22-yard line as the clock is continuing to tick away at just under 8 minutes to go here in the 4th quarter. Locke is going to be in the shotgun, hands it off to Melvin Gordon, who cuts it back in up the middle. Probably had some extra space if we had stayed to the right, but we still pick up 3 yards on that play all the way down to the 19-yard line. So we are in the red zone at this moment. We are pressuring their defense. We are trying to get them to fold. So here we go, 2nd and 7. Locke is going to be alone in the backfield, 3 wide receivers, and Gordon in the slot position. Fires it over the middle, and that's going to be caught by Hamler. What a play that was, and Locke fired that one in there. Hamler came down with it. I'm not exactly sure how he was able to hang on to it, as he was hit immediately after that ball made contact with his hands. But that will give us a 1st and 10 now from the 11-yard line. So Locke is going to be in the shotgun once again. 3 receivers to his left side, tight end on the right. Gordon also in the backfield on his right side. Now Locke will drop over and throw, and that one's almost intercepted. That was one of those stupid plays right there. Better to take a sack than to heave that one into the end zone, especially under pressure. But that did fall incomplete, so we have ourselves a 2nd and 10. Locke is going to be under center for this one. 2 tight ends to the right side. He gets the snap, hands it off to Cone up the middle, who's going to power forward and get a good 5 yards on that play. Xavier Cone is almost at 80 yards on the evening, so he's had a pretty good night for himself. Now 3rd and 5 here at the 6-yard line. Locke in the shotgun. He has the snap. He's going to stand tall over the middle. Fires it to Hamler, who's going to be brought down. Did they give it to us? No, they did not. 4th and inches at the 1-yard line. But this is where, you see the nerve of a team right here, right? 4th and inches at the 1. Game is not settled yet. It's only a 4-point lead. We hand it off to guess who? Mr. Cullen Gillespie, as we will get into the end zone on that one, as our fullback Gillespie powers it home and gives us a 27-16 lead. Now, Las Vegas would come back and put up a touchdown relatively quickly, and get the 2-point conversion. So now they're only trailing by 3 because, we don't want to put teams away. That's not our style. We are trying to make it our style on this drive, though. There is only less than 3 minutes to go now, but Las Vegas does have 3 timeouts. So Drew Lock in the shotgun hands it off to Gordon. Just off the left side, he's going to power forward and get brought down at the 35-yard line. But once again, they're not going to give us the first down, which actually works to our advantage as we let this clock go to the 2-minute warning with a 3rd and inches. All we need are inches, and we can start really working to put this game away, force Las Vegas to use their timeouts. So Locke is going to go under center with 2 tight ends to the right. Hands it off to Cone, who's bounced off his blocker and gets forward to the 40-yard line, picks up a 5-yard gain, and that will bring up a brand new first down. And that would help us seal this win, bounce back from what we had the previous week against the Chargers. And that one was a big-time win for us in prime time. We really did need that to come through, especially against a divisional opponent. Now, if you see, they did barely outpass 213 to 212, but our rushing game was on point at 194 rushing yards total to their 44 yards. They did win the turnover game, though. They got 1 takeaway, and we had 0, but that is what it is at this point of the season. Now, we're going to go ahead and start updating or upgrading the players that we can for this week. But while we do that, it does remind me to go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you have not subscribed already. And if you did like today's video, hit that thumbs up button, as it really does help out the channel. We greatly appreciate everything that y'all do for us on that end. So thank y'all very much for that. Now, like I said, we're going to finish some of these upgrades and get ready to advance on to the next week, the final 4 games of the season. We are 10-2 this year, working our way to try and get that first week bye come the playoffs. But until then, thank y'all for joining us, and I will see y'all next time. So as always, everybody, stay safe, and, well, you guys know how it goes. Later, y'all.